Mikey Unlikely, and I'd like to thank you for joining us here on the Atomic Dropcast Network. Ladies and gentlemen, champions and jobber characters alike, this is episode 23 of the EFed podcast, and this week we've got another one of my best friends in the game joining us for an interview. Stevie, the handler of Jesse Fredericks Kendricks, aka JFK or Kendricks. It's going to be an interesting interview. He's a guy who's only been playing this game for a few years, but he's been embroiled in the major feds the entire time. Of course, we've got a brand new EFed spotlight on the show, and of course, the EFed podcast question of the week answers are coming your way. If you want to interact with the show, you can do so on Twitter at the EFed podcast. That's where we post the question of the week as well as our interview questions for the guests. You can also check out the Discord. It's right there in the Twitter profile with a quick link. You're in there with our OGs who can get you started and get you acquainted with how the Discord runs. It's a great time in there, a great place for everyone in the community, no matter how you play the game, to come together. Of course, the EFed podcast is a totally free podcast that will now air every Tuesday for the public. However, if you'd like to support the show and get some extra perks, including the show on Sundays, 2 days early, head on over to patreon.com/EFed podcast and you can help support the show. Special shout out to Brian, who's now producing the show and even this episode as you're hearing it. Well, not as you're hearing it. He post-produced. You know what I mean. Before we get into the show, let's get a word from our sponsors.
Defiance, an angle-fed boasting 8 years of continuous fantasy wrestling. Defiance offers opportunities for original characters, micros, a standalone website utilizing Backstage 3 script, and a forum hosted on the long-running fwrestling.com, as well as a roster full of some of the most experienced writers in the game. Come see for yourself at defiancewrestling.com. That's defiancewrestling.com.
Hey guys, are you digging this podcast? Well, we really appreciate it. I'd also appreciate it if you check out my other podcast. The Atomic Dropcast is a look back at the wrestling of yesteryear through adult eyes. We watch the wrestling that we watched as kids, as adults, with a couple of beers in our hands. It's a great time. Check it out over at atomicdropcast.com. You can also find us on iTunes, Stitcher, Google Play, Spotify, or wherever you listen to your podcasts.
The EFed question of the week.
The EFed question of the week is brought to you by the EWC. The Extreme Wrestling Corporation is the game's longest-running roleplay EFed, having been established in 1997. With over 100 active roleplayers across 4 unique brands, EWC offers opt-in booking on all of its bi-weekly shows. It's home to Stranglemania and the 4-day wrestling festival known as WrestleFest. The EWC is built on its welcoming community with zero bias and no drama. All styles are welcome. Come check out the EWC today at EWC4life.com. That's EWC, the number 4, life.com. All right, guys, this week's EFed podcast question of the week is an easy one. Angle, roleplay, or COFEDs, and why? Those of you who answered on Twitter, here are the answers we got back. We got at Sean_Warstein. Unfortunately for me, it's RP through and through. I've dipped into Angle before, but it usually crashed and burned. I like crafting stories, and all the weird scenarios you can get yourself into is second to none. At Booby Dean. All of the above. They each serve a purpose. Roleplay is great to fuel that competitive drive in us. Angle is good for pure storytelling. Caw is just a fun visual. I would say the downside to RP is with every winner there has to be a loser, and no one likes to lose. Except me. Bobby Dean losing successfully for years and years now. Thanks for the answer, buddy. At TW Combat, role-playing. I like the competitive nature of it. You can just never tell who will win week in and week out. I've tried angle feds, but they weren't fun for me. I've never tried a caw fed, though. However, I do enjoy all as a fan, even if not a competitor. At El Perro Ward, caw feds, mainly Fire Pro based. To me, it's the best and least stressful form of e-fedding. There's a lot of benefits that many people are not aware of, and it's perfect for those that have a very busy life but loves e-feds like me. At JROK_Puro2020, Angle feds give me more freedom and are less frustrating or work than roleplay feds, caw feds, etc. Caw feds, I don't know, I've not messed around with that stuff much at all. Fair enough. At the Irwin109, caw is all I've known, but we try to blend other elements in due to the creativity of the people. Absolutely. People who have never done a caw fed should, and people who've never done writing fed should also do that. Get a great mix of both. Next one's at Failed Rhetoric. Our buddy Jay, angle, because then I don't have to bitch to the owner when I lose. True that, buddy. At Ivy OPW, RP with wrestlers I've created. I've got a 20-year storyline with two of the guys who handle my ladies' husbands as well as 20-year feuds with other people. We've had weddings, births, aged up the kids, created an empire. That's awesome. Great answer. It's fun, and you can do the same thing in angle feds in reality. You just build over years. I've been in Defiance now for 4 years with Mikey Unlikely, and the character has grown from jackass to really crazy jackass since then. At Supreme MMA 1, roleplay. I prefer to control a character I've made, and I like competing. It drives improvement in your writing, and that's always a good thing. You're writing with the purpose when you feel you have to win. Very true story. At Maiden Valhalla, call is all I've done, but I'd love to try an angle fed one day. DefianceWrestling.com. At VI Wrestling, participation, whether that is via roleplay or writing a match, card, or angle. The more involved you are, however, that is always will make for more enjoyable experience. And at _Jeannie Carlson, I do angled and RP. There was a time I thought angled was for the lazy who didn't want to work for their wins, a way for people to put their friends over, and sometimes I still think that's the truth, but not all angle feds are like that. I think I put more thought into RP though. Interesting perspective. We're going to jump over to the Discord side of things. All right, up first on the Discord is Mongo the Destroyer. He says it depends on your availability. I think RPing is the best way to tell a story, but you can get it done with an angle fed too. A video game fed keeps you in the EFedding world, but it's usually minimal effort and you're sort of at the mercy of the ring. I'm doing angle and video game right now for my guys because I'm heavily restricted on how much RPing I can do, but if I wasn't restricted, I'd be in an RP fed with at least one of my characters. Now, up next is Judge Megan. As much as I've been in roleplay and angle feds, I like angle much more than RP ones. With angle feds, you have control of who wins and who loses, while roleplays, you're judged to win, even though the feedback is good. Up next, we got Warren Fitz 45. It seems angle for me. I like parts of RPing, the back and forth mostly, but the best parts can be in angle feds with the bonus of crafting a scene with others. Collaborative writing is king. I also really enjoy collaborative writing. Hashtag Pete for Frappes. Angle and RP have different strengths and weaknesses that I can't choose between. RP requires more creativity because you're trying to win, and Angle requires more commitment because you're writing the entire story. Absolutely agree. At Percival Conrad Prince, I do AI versus AI on 2K19. I'm not sure exactly where the HWA falls in this category. It falls under COFED. But all of the talent understands that first and foremost, they are telling a story. When I do my angles, I leave the story open to either option for winners. It's almost like writing a choose-your-own-adventure book. If this guy wins, we'll do this. If the other guy wins, I'll do that instead. Sometimes I let the characters in on the idea if I feel like they can advance the story, but for me, it's about the show itself. If I make a show great, people will want to be a part of it. Definitely agree, and definitely digging what you're doing over there, Percival. We got Seth is Burns. He says angle. I like being able to tell stories with other people from start to finish and don't really have that competitive drive for any more role playing. Well, you're doing a hell of a job over at DefianceWrestling.com, Seth. Mike Best is up next. He says, I go role play because there is something there no matter how you feel about your opponent. You can still work together if you're friends. You can do a murder if you don't care for them. And it keeps my competitiveness. I like being on my toes and not knowing everything that is going to happen. Rolling with the punches is what makes it still a game to me. I feel like I'd get bored in an angle fed. And fuck hybrid feds. That's just a roleplay fed where the fed head admits he might pick the shittier roleplay because it fits his story better. Love you, Mike. Thanks for the answer. And that's all the answers we got for this week's EFed podcast question of the week. If you'd like to participate, go to Twitter, go to the Discord, at the EFed podcast on Twitter, and go ahead and comment on the pinned post to the top of the Twitter page.
This is Billy, the handler of Elise Aries, and you're totes listening to the EFed podcast, starring my good friend, Mikey Unlikely.
All right, guys, up next is the EFed podcast spotlight segment. It's a segment where we highlight a Fed that's out there, check out the website, review some of the things aesthetically we see, and check out some of the roster as well. This week's EFed podcast spotlight is on the Universal Wrestling League. You can find them at uwlonline44.boards.net or on Twitter at uwlonline. Now, Universal Wrestling League is an original characters only Angle Fed. They've got bi-weekly shows called UWL Saturday Night, and they have a pay-per-view every other month, so 6 a year. The name of the game in Universal is participation. The more involved you are in your angle and your storylines and submitting segments and character development stuff, it will dictate how far you move up in the Fed and how fast. The UWL is a pick-based Fed, and they are on boards.net. As far as championship titles go, they've got the UWL World Championship, the United States Championship, a television title, tag team titles, and United States tag team titles. So quite a bit of things to choose from there, UWL, quite a few different divisions, and it looks like they've got quite the healthy roster as well. Speaking of the roster on there, I see Chris Constantine Jr., Rob Daniels, The Enforcer, Lauren Parker, Callie Kate, Casey Holiday, Campbell Chase, and Tony Savage. As far as the website goes, UWL is a forum Fed using boards.net. That is clear. But one thing is, it's very easy on the eyes. I really dig the blue and black color scheme, and I see the Fed's logo has changed since I last checked it out. It used to be a green and black logo, and I think it had like a lion or something inside of it. But really cool change to the old school UWL logo they have now, and the website color scheme and layout is very easy to read. The forum is laid out and very well with information and rules up top. Below that, you're going to find all of your members of the roster, the tag team roster, and managers. Further down the forum, you're going to see the card section, and that's where you're going to get all the archived role plays, as well as UWL is formerly a role play Fed. This is a Fed that's been around for, 6+ years, easily. I'm sure it's a more impressive number, but that's all that I know of. Once you get past those cards and those archived role plays, you're going to get to the events, the Saturday night UWL shows, and the pay-per-view results. Finally, you'll find your OOC section at the bottom of the forum, and on the left-hand side of the screen, it's a great-looking UWL titles and their current champions. And the titles are very well made. I don't know if it's a Photoshop job or if someone had made them for them, but the graphics on the championships look really cool. It's very well laid out and simple to understand forum and website. Check them out at uwlonline44.boards.net. Overall thoughts, I've known the Fed head of this Fed, Jay Jefferson, for a long time. Back in 2015, I was a handler for him in a little Fed he had called Skyfire Wrestling. I really enjoyed my time working under him. He's fair, he's cool, he's got some good ideas. Guys, check out the UWL. I have nothing but great things to say about them over there. They've been supporting the show. We've had Rob Daniels on, who's their current world champion as we record. Check them out, uwlonline44.boards.net. Hey everybody, it's Mikey. No, we're not back to the show just yet. First, I want to tell you about my Patreon. Now I know what you're thinking, oh no, am I going to have to pay for the podcast? No. The answer is emphatically no. The show has been and forever will be free. No, Brunk, you will not have to pay for the podcast. However, we have been asked by a handful of people how they can help support the show. And we've also been asked, mostly by Fuzz, why we didn't have a Patreon yet. And I quote, "You stupid I can't believe you don't have a Patreon. I will hurt you if you don't take my money now." End quote. That was Fuzz. He's a scary dude. So with that in mind, you can find us at patreon.com/EFed podcast. Contributions start as low as $3 a month. Thank you very much for your consideration. Please get fuzz off our backs. All right, everybody, this week on the show, we're joined by Stevie, the handler of Jesse Fredericks Kendricks, aka Kendricks, aka JFK baby. He's one of my best friends in all of e-wrestling, and for the last 5 years, Stevie and I have been the handlers behind the tag team, the Hollywood Brovs. Stevie, how are you?
I'm good, mate. How are you doing?
I'm awesome, man. Glad to hear from you. We've hung out a couple times, we've talked many times, but it's been quite a while.
Yeah, it has been a while. I remember the last time we spoke. Maybe that was in Chicago?
Probably, yeah.
Yeah.
That's been well over a year now, almost 2 years probably.
Yeah. Time flies, huh?
It sure does, yeah. So, thanks for joining us on the EFed podcast. And obviously, you and I know each other very well. But for the people out there who don't know you, you started in the game just 5 years ago, right before the Hollywood Bros started.
Yeah. I've not been in the game for that long, really. So this might be quite a short podcast.
It very well could be. Everybody else I talked to has been playing the game for 20 years, and you're quite the opposite story. But you hit it off early, and you were successful early on, and it's been fun to watch you rise up quickly.
Yeah, that's very kind. I was trying to think about it earlier today, how long I've been doing this for, and I was thinking 4 years, 5 years. So yeah, it probably was 5 years ago. It's been a blast. It's been great.
Yeah. So tell everyone where you're from, Stevie, because obviously we don't sound the same.
Sure. So obviously, my accent's slightly different to most of your listeners. But yeah, I'm from London.
Just like Kendricks.
Yeah, not much imagination went into Kendricks. I'm from London originally, and now I actually live in the Czech Republic, not in Prague, which is
the only city people know.
Prague. Yeah, exactly. Even me, I actually live in a city called Brno, which is the second city of the Czech Republic, and I only heard about it about a few years ago.
So tell us, Stevie, how did you get into professional wrestling? When did you start watching it?
I don't know. I think it was when I was a child. Would have been probably maybe 7 or 8 years old, maybe something like that. I don't know. It was always in the UK. They had wrestling on. I can't remember what promotion it was, but I think my earliest memory was seeing Sting, like early Sting.
Okay.
So I'm not sure of what promotion that would have been.
The Surfer Sting?
Yeah, Surfer Sting. That was my earliest memory, I think. So I honestly can't remember what promotion it was.
So you just turned it on, you saw it on TV and you got into it, or did someone else get you into it?
No, I just saw it on TV. Like, no one in my family liked wrestling. So I don't know, it was just on, and I thought it looked cool. Obviously thinking it was real, and learned quickly that it wasn't. I probably got into, I guess, probably most of people our age got into it, and it was during the Attitude Era.
Yeah.
I think I probably started watching it around the time of Shawn Michaels and Bret Hart. But probably when Shawn Michaels and Triple H started DX.
Okay, 97, 98, 96, 97, 98, yeah.
Yeah, around that time, I would probably say I probably got into it. Because I think we just got Sky or cable at home, and that was on, so I just watched it every Friday.
That's a very similar to our last guest, Andy Murray. Kind of same situation.
Oh, really? Okay, yeah, there we go. Yeah. So it was on every Friday. Monday Night Raw was on every Friday night on cable in the UK. So I was always watching it, like every show.
And who were your favorites growing up, and then in the Attitude Era?
Well, I think we were pretty much spoiled during the Attitude Era, but I guess the guys that really got me into it were DX.
DX,
but
yeah.
Like, not the original ones, I guess, but when like Road Dogg and Billy Gunn, X-Pac were all in there, I think that's about the time I really got into it.
You were running around saying "suck it" to everybody.
Yeah.
I was too.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, most of us were, weren't we?
Yeah, oh, absolutely. Yeah. So okay, so you got DX. Who else did you like through the years? Give us your Mount Rushmore, your top 4.
Oh, I mean, number 1 is Jericho.
Yeah, all time.
Yeah, all time. I mean, now, even looking back now, all time, I think, yeah, Chris Jericho for me is like the D1. But yeah, I mean, Junior Attitude Era, Austin was awesome.
Yes.
That whole Austin McMahon thing going on, it's just incredible. It just grips you.
It was unbelievable, yeah.
Week after week, you just want to see what happened next. It's just genius. Yeah, Rock was great. Mankind, Mick Foley, Undertaker, it was just so many guys. Even the mid-card were brilliant.
Absolutely. And what about later on? When did you kind of fall out of watching wrestling?
So I stopped watching it when I went to university, so that would have been around 2001, 2002.
Okay.
So that would probably be like the Ruthless Aggression era, I'm guessing.
Yeah, probably.
I stopped watching because I didn't have access to it, really. I had other things to do at uni. That I won't go into here.
That's when you discovered strippies for the first time.
Right, exactly, yeah. Again, Kendricks is not
not a far stretch.
Character.
That's awesome. So did you ever get back into watching wrestling after that, or did you kind of just lay low?
It took me years. I guess, yeah, it was quite a big break. I got properly back into it when probably Punk did his, that's
the pipe bomb promo.
The pipe bomb promo, yeah.
Yeah.
It's probably when I started watching it again properly, because that was insane. That was brilliant.
Oh, absolutely. Caught everybody, even if you were on like the periphery of wrestling at that point.
Yeah, I always kind of kept an eye out, like just to see what was going on. Like I would never watch a whole show before then. I kind of always just watch, just read up about it, see what's going on every so often, but nothing really drew me in again. So it's quite a big gap.
And what about now?
Now I've stopped again. I stopped watching that, but I mean AEW's come along.
Yeah,
and I'm watching every week. It's kind of reminding me of that Attitude Era time.
It's chaos. Yeah,
it's obviously not perfect. There's obviously problems with it, but like it's so good. It's like in comparison to what the WWE are doing right now.
Right.
I can't watch WWE right now. Like I'm just not watching it. I don't really care. Like I don't even know when WrestleMania is. Is it this weekend? Is it next weekend?
It's this weekend, I think. Yeah.
This weekend. Like
last weekend, as you're hearing this.
Right. Yeah. So I'm just not really interested in it at all at the moment. But then again, I kind of, once something grabs my attention, I'll go back into it.
Very good.
I've always kind of drifted in and out, depending on what the product's doing, really. So, yeah. But yeah, we're loving AEW at the moment.
Who are you digging over there? Besides Jericho, obviously.
I love Jericho. Like he's just awesome. He's just always been great. Who do I like at the moment? Good question. Hangman Page is good to watch.
Yeah, good wrestler.
Yeah, and that thing going on with Days Not Going On with Nick Jackson at the moment is really good TV. It's like you want to see what happens next with these guys. It's good. It draws you in. I want to kind of see where they're going with that. I'm not digging the women's division at all.
Yeah, that's
the only thing I would say about AEW right now needs to improve on.
But hey, they've got you watching wrestling again, so I guess that's a plus.
Yeah. Sammy Guevara's good.
Yeah, he is. He's very good. He's gonna be good for a long time if he keeps it up.
Darby Allin, like them two have got massive futures. Like they're incredible.
They're the future of the biz, you could say.
Well, exactly. kind of like the best friends as well. They make me laugh every week as well.
They certainly do.
They kind of remind me of certain two characters that we write about.
Let's talk about those characters. So you told us how you got into wrestling. How did you find e-wrestling?
So I didn't find it.
It was shown to you.
Yeah, do you remember Johnny?
Oh, I remember Jono, absolutely.
Jono, as people know him in this game. So me and Jono go back years. Like we went to secondary school together. So we met when we were 11.
Wow.
So we were friends for years. And Jono obviously has been in the game for years. Obviously he's not been around for the last couple of years. but he'd been doing it.
When I had joined UTA, Jono was already there and was already had a high status as someone who had been around for a long time, and
Exactly.
I was still kind of rookie-ish.
Yeah, I remember him telling me about it when we were teenagers, and I was like, no, I'm not doing this.
And so then how did he approach you again?
So about 5 years ago, basically, he got, I don't know, he just kind of sold it to me really well. I can't remember what he said. I think at the time I was kind of dipping my toe in writing stuff, because I was kind of writing for the first time, writing up articles for this Italian football website. I say football, you guys call it
soccer.
But I'm calling it football because,
because it is football for you.
It is football. They kick a ball with their foot.
It's not an egg ball, I guess.
Right, exactly. But yeah, so I was doing that. And so I guess I was writing at the time. I was kind of enjoying it. And then he told me about what he was doing in UTA at the time. And I just thought, yeah, why not? Let's give it a go. Sounds good. I was into wrestling at that time as well. So,
and the rest is history.
Yeah, Johnny basically, because at the time I had to apply to get into the UTA. I remember. I didn't apply. Johnny just said,
"You're in."
Yeah. Well, he's obviously spoke to the head at the time. Just putting a good word for me. So yeah, really glad he did that, and I got the opportunity to give it a go, basically, because it's been a fun ride since.
So I looked it up today.
Okay.
It was January 10th, 2015, and Kendricks made his debut in professional wrestling.
You know more than I do.
So January 10th, you went one-on-one with Lou Smith.
Yeah.
On Victory.
I remember my opponent. Yeah, Lou Smith.
And he beat your ass.
He beat my ass. Yeah.
No, but then you bounced back the next week against Log Haben. So good job there.
Yeah, I don't think I lost that many matches.
No, you did pretty well after that first one.
I think I lost maybe 2 or 3 overall in UTA.
That's pretty good.
I think I did all right.
Yeah, you definitely did all right. But I looked it up. So talk to us about having only one character. In your entire career, you've only handled Kendricks. In today's age, where half of the handlers in e-wrestling have 5 original characters active, you've only had one guy.
Yeah, but I've only been around for 5 years.
So you're still exploring that first character.
Yeah. He's just, I don't know what really happened, because when I started with Kendricks, he was supposed to be this intellectual, technical wrestler, and I guess he still is. He's a technical wrestler, but like this intellectual, better than you type character. But like and then I realized, like writing him the first couple of times, that I couldn't pull it off. I couldn't pull intellectual off. So I just decided to go with dickhead, basically.
Yep.
Yeah.
And it worked out, because it wasn't long in your UTA journey before you were recruited by Jono, most likely, to join Dynasty.
Yeah, so I didn't. No, that wasn't planned. So I came in. I was doing Kendricks by myself, and just obviously seeing where it goes. I didn't know what was going to happen. I thought I'd do a couple of role plays, probably get bored and leave, or just be rubbish and leave. And Johnny was in Dynasty at the time. And at that time, they were like the big deal in UTA.
Yep, the big stable.
For quite some time.
Yep.
So, yeah. So I had no idea that was coming. Actually, did you join?
One week prior.
You were before me, weren't you?
Yeah. So Dynasty at the time was Sean Jackson. It was La Flama Blanca. It was CBR and Perfection.
That's right, yeah.
Because KVT had just left. So then one week, Mikey Unlikely joins, and then the following week, Kendricks joins. And prior to that, I didn't know you from Adam.
No. I was still trying to work out who was who, like who were the handlers to each character and stuff. But yeah, so it was all, I think I was there for maybe 6 matches before that happened. I honestly can't remember.
Yeah, very quickly. You had joined Dynasty. I had been around UTA for about a year at that point, and had had turned heel for the first time in my EFedding career. And very shortly after, I don't know how, we somehow got stuck together in tag team matches as like the newbies of Dynasty. And somehow, some way, the Hollywood Brovs were born.
Yeah. So basically the Hollywood Brovs are all because of Johnny.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
But basically, I think so. What happened in Dynasty? Obviously, there was some kind of split. I think Mike Bell, who was doing Sean Jackson, he'd left. Jono was leaving.
Oh yeah, towards the end, absolutely. There was the Hollywood Brovs, La Flama Blanca, and I think Jay was also on his way out after he got suspended.
Yeah, right. So it basically was just falling apart, and then me and you were left.
And then we turned on Will.
What are we going to do?
So we turned on the biggest guy in the group and tried to make our own name.
That's right, yeah. I thought that was quite good. I was looking forward to that angle as well, because me and Johnny were supposed to do a Kendricks v CBR type thing, kind of like, because CBR was supposed to be Kendricks' like leader or tutor.
Yeah,
it was like the tutor of the apprentice, master of the apprentice type thing. But then Johnny left soon after, so then it was just me and you left.
Yeah, it was me and you, and we turned it into a beautiful tag team. And I believe shortly thereafter you became the UTA Prodigy champion, or was that was during the Dynasty run?
No, that was after, I think.
After.
That was when we were with the Bros were together.
I don't know. Ben took down the archive, so I did my best to try to.
Yeah, no, I think that was after. I think we had a crack at it before, but just missed out. And then, the Bros were together when that happened. But that was awesome. Like, that was the first title I'd achieved in this game. In
e-wrestling. And then very briefly, we held the Wrestle UTA tag team titles. And then basically UTA kind of collapsed from there. And, like most feds, after a good run, they come to a halt, and Ben had to take a break. And so the Hollywood Brovs, Mikey and Kendricks, we jumped over to Defiance Wrestling.
Yeah, I was really sad when that happened, because that was obviously the first time I had experienced a fed just closing down, because I was really enjoying it.
Yeah, that was your first fed. It's kind of it's hard for me to imagine that, because it's been 20 years since I've been in my first fed.
Yeah. I mean, obviously, like now, this is normal in e-wrestling,
Yeah.
At the time, I was like, oh, this is a bit shit. So I was enjoying it. Obviously, writing the Brovs is great fun. So I was really enjoying it at the time. So yeah, it was quite a sad day when it happened. But then it didn't take too long to find somewhere else to go.
I think we jumped in Boardwalk for like a day.
Yeah.
Was it Boardwalk? I think it was Boardwalk.
Yeah, it was Boardwalk. What was it? We had like one match.
We had one match, and we did not agree.
Yeah, we did not agree with what had happened.
We did not agree with those actions. So we were out of Boardwalk as fast as we were in Boardwalk. And
I remember we went in with another kind of stable. I can't remember what we called ourselves, or if we called ourselves anything. So we just went in, fuck shit up, and then
then we got fucked up.
Just got fucked up,
and then we ended up over in Defiance Wrestling, where we decided to give Angle a try. So your second your second real fed was an Angle fed.
That's right. Yeah, it was. It was different. I wasn't too sure about it, because I really enjoyed doing role plays.
On the competitive side.
I enjoy the competitive side, because I'm quite competitive in nature anyway. So I kind of got a buzz from, kind of finding out through the match that was written if I'd won or not.
If you were the better writer, right?
Yeah. If I won, I wanted to win the next one. I wanted to climb the rankings and stuff like that. So that was quite. I really enjoyed that aspect to the game. So I wasn't sure going into an Angle fed what it would be like, but obviously I'd heard of Defiance during my time in the UTA, because obviously we would have
a lot of Defiance guys over there. Yeah,
exactly. All the guys have been there previously. So yeah, so I think you sold that to me.
Yeah, absolutely. That's my job in e-wrestling, is to sell Stevie on something.
I don't do anything by myself. I basically get my friends to take me places.
So yeah, we talked you into DefianceWrestling.com. Still running now. Go check it out if you're looking for a good Angle fed. Defiance Wrestling, we were over there, and we started there with the Hollywood Brovs, And very quickly, the Hollywood Bruvs, we had some success, and then we formed the SEG.
The Sports Entertainment Guild.
It was so great.
It was brilliant. No, I really enjoyed my time there. And writing with you, Billy and Ford, that group was just fun. So much fun.
I thought that they were trying to steal the Mikey gimmick, and lo and behold, they come in, and it worked so well with the four of us. And Klein.
And Klein. How can you forget Klein? Klein was amazing.
With his box head.
So good. So good. Oh. But yeah, no, it was awesome. And I think to write Angle for the first time, like I said, I was apprehensive about it, but it was so much fun. I think I enjoyed being in the group that we were in because it was just fun. The guys are great writers, and being in SEG, I think, made the Hollywood Bruvs the characters they are today.
Yeah, absolutely. We're so much more over the top now.
Yeah, because before that, Kendricks was just he was just a dick.
Yep.
A horrible, horrible dick.
Well, that's what we were more smug in Wrestle UTA. We were more smug and arrogant and dickish, and now we're just childish and over the top, and ridiculous.
Completely oblivious to reality.
It's so great. It's a good evolution, though. So yeah, in Wrestle UTA, we did the SEG. Obviously, we each had our own successes. I was a Southern Heritage champion. We achieved tag team titles together in Defiance as the Hollywood Bruvs. And you were also the Fist of Defiance.
I was, yeah. I think I only defended it twice, but I was Fist of Defiance.
Even as a transitional champion, you're a champion, damn it.
Yeah. I remember I won, I also got the DOC, Kendrick's got the DOC, and then a week after,
burnt it
because Brian didn't want to have the DOC anymore.
Because it's a garbage title. He doesn't want to get beat up every week.
I'm quite sure how to take that victory. But yeah. I mean, from then on, the writing. I was just having fun at the time with the character. But I think when Kendricks is on his own, when he won the Fist, for example, he turns into a dick. I write him slightly differently to when he's in the Bruvs.
You have to.
I have to, yeah. Because I think with the Bruvs, I think we play off each other. Yeah,
and it just builds, yeah.
Yeah, whereas when he's on his own, he's focused, and he doesn't give a shit about anyone. And I write him to win, to be competitive in that way. But when he's in the Bruvs, obviously we're competitive, but
go read some Hollywood Bruv stuff if you're listening to this interview. It's amazing. So okay, Defiance Wrestling, you were the Fist of Defiance, the top champion there. Eventually dropping that. You were also tag team champions with Scott Stevens. We'll get into that a little bit later with the questions that were sent in. There's some good ones there. And so you had a good run in Defiance right after Wrestle UTA. So you went straight from Roleplay to Angle. And then you took a long break from e-wrestling.
Yeah. I think I burnt out after 2 years or 3 years, whatever it was.
Just writing matches and segments and
yeah.
Prior to that, role plays.
Awful match writer. I do enjoy, I think the segs in the Angle threads, I do enjoy writing the segs. And obviously the Angle. Just with your partner at the time, working out how it's going to go. That was quite cool.
Yeah, working out something different and trying to be creative. It's fun. It's a lot of fun that way.
Yeah. Obviously, I wrote my matches. I never flaked or anything like that. But there's so many better match writers. Just reading the matches in Defiance and now in Howl as well. I need to work on that, obviously, in the future. But I prefer definitely writing segs and RPs.
Yeah. Things where you can have fun and talk shit.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I think I lack the imagination to write movesets in matches.
There you go. So after you took a sabbatical, probably about a year and a half off, probably since our Chicago vacation.
Yeah, we were. I don't think any of us writing it.
And no, we were all taking a break. Absolutely. Yeah. And then recently, after I had been bugging you, I said, hey, we got to write the Bruvs again. Writing Mikey's great, but we got to write the Bruvs again. And I said, I don't care where we do it, what we do, we got to write them again. And eventually you caved.
Yeah.
very recently. Typical Stevie.
You just need to ask me 3 times.
And I said, let's write the Bruvs again. And you said, all right, fuck it, let's do it. And you were all in, and that's awesome. And we tried to join Mile High Wrestling. Shout out to those guys, but that didn't work out. They had closed their Fed. And we ended up in High Octane Wrestling instead.
Yeah, very recently. Only 2 months ago.
2 months ago, yeah. So we've been in High Octane. The Bruvs are back for another run, and we're over at High Octane Wrestling. What do you think of your experience there so far?
Yeah, awesome bed. Really glad we joined this place. I mean, the talent, the writers in this Fed are just, it's insane how good they are. Like, I'm rusty going back in. Like, I'm pretty bad now. Like, it's kind of like coming back after a while away. It's like starting over again. And I think this is a really tough place to start over again in order to be competitive, because just the amount of great writers in this Fed is incredible.
Yeah, definitely.
It's going to be really, really tough to get to the top. But, it's just, you'll become a better writer just by reading what these guys are doing.
100%.
Nature as well, these are the type of people that will push you to write better. So it's awesome being back. The shows are written really, really well. So yeah, really pleased we're here. I'm just looking forward to writing again, because like I said, I think I left because I just burnt out and I wasn't interested anymore. But
yeah,
it's the type of place to keep you kind of interested for sure.
It's definitely a good time so far. And obviously our second match was a tag title match, so they're obviously booking us the right way.
Well, with that range, we didn't have a title match from the start.
Yeah. Well, whatever. We had to beat Stuvens and dump him on his head real quick, so we did that.
And Fed has been awesome with us as well from the get-go. Like, he's been really commentating. There's no, and from what I've seen in the chat as well, there's very little drama.
Yeah, no drama, no bias, we've had no issues whatsoever. It's been really nice.
It's a really good place to live at.
That's it. And that kind of covers your journey, man. That's 5 years in a bubble.
There we go. The quickest career ever.
But it's an interesting one because you've never been in what anybody would consider a minor league Fed. You went from one of the top Roleplay Feds in Wrestle UTA in 2015 to one of the top Angle Feds in 2017 in Defiance, to now you're in another one of the top Roleplay Feds in 2020. So you've never had it easy. So I guess that
thing's easy. I've never done anything easy in my life inside wrestling. So I thought, why not go for this?
That's right. It's awesome though. So no, it's been a lot of fun, and it's been a lot of fun getting to know you. I'm just a guy from Ohio in America. Never thought I'd be great bruvs with a guy from London.
Right, and this is the great thing about this game we play. Like, we've met so many good, cool people, in this game, and from all different parts of the world. I mean, mostly in America, obviously. But America's a big place. People
it is.
So, it's been awesome. It's been a great experience. And I love writing the Bruvs. They make my day. Like, when we get together and write together, it's just like, I'm in tears. Like,
same.
It's ridiculous. Some of the stuff they come out with is just
some of the most fun we have I've ever had in this game is just getting into the dock with you and just writing a role play or writing a segment, and just I'm laughing so hard by some of the shit that we just play off each other.
We don't even plan stuff. We just go in the dock and start talking.
I send you a message. Hey, the Bruvs are in a romantic restaurant. Go.
That's what we do. We find a setting,
and we go.
And then we just go. It's so much fun. It's great.
We're at the Lincoln Park Zoo. Go.
Right. What's at the zoo? Oh, there's animals at the zoo. And then it's amazing. Like, I do like the chemistry we have when we write together. So yeah, it's been really fun.
And speaking of meeting people, you and I and Murr, as kind of touched on in the last show, we've done our vacations where we've all gotten together multiple times and hung out for like a week at a time. Yeah,
we did London once.
We did London, yeah. I flew out to London, and then we did Chicago.
Yeah, that was our turn to go meet you across the pond. Across
the pond. We've had great times, so I've met a lot of people in my e-wrestling days. Obviously, you and Murr are some of the closest friends I've had, and it's been a great time. Really enjoy it, and I'm glad you could join us for the interview and go over some of that stuff.
No, pleasure's mine. Thanks for inviting me.
All right, bruv, let's do the questions from the crowd. Are you ready?
Not really, but yeah, go on.
We're going to hit you with them. Up first is your old friend from Wrestle UTA, Judge Megan.
Oh, yeah.
Hello, Stevie. I hope you're doing well. Congrats on being a dad, too. When you started EFedding years ago, what's the one thing you learned during your time?
Oh, that's a good question. I don't think I've learned anything. No, I think, well, I guess, like I said earlier, like I lost my first match and I was really obviously raw writing these kind of role plays. So I think I just learned from the Fed head, actually. Like, you just make, you know, how to get better. So I remember there were docs that Ben used to make about feedback, and you just read the feedback and see how you can improve. And that's how I got better, just learning from the mistakes I made or what he liked, you know, what's going to score me high points to beat someone. So I think, yeah, I learned, that was the earliest thing I learned, just to listen to, you know, what's expected from the guy who runs the show, because at the end of the day, he is going to score you.
Yep.
You know.
That's a good point. Thanks, Megan.
But yeah, that's all I've learned. Nothing else.
Next question is from Scott Stevens, at JMan2K3. Hey, Stevie, it's your other bruv, liar, and former tag team partner, Scotty Too Hottie Stevens. Oh, I have two questions. First question is, your character has had some success at both singles and tag team levels. As a writer, which do you prefer? And as a character, which do you think Kendricks prefers?
Bloody Stevens. That's a good question as well. I mean, I personally prefer, it's got to be the Brubs, you know?
It's got to be.
It's got to be the Brubs. I have to say that. No, I'm joking. I actually do prefer writing the Brubs just because it's more fun. I get more fun out of it these days.
And what do you think Kendricks prefers?
I think, to his detriment, Kendricks prefers the Brubs as well.
To his detriment.
Yeah.
He would be so successful if he could just break away from Mikey.
Yeah, I think so. I think he would be, yeah.
I'm holding him back.
He's proved it in the past.
You're not wrong. Everybody, PCP, everybody's broken away and been more successful. All right. Steven's second question. As a handler, you've met many people in the hobby. Would you have done so when you first got into the hobby, yes or no?
I've only been doing it for 5 years, so...
You kind of met us like year 3.
Yeah, I met you like a year later, so... yes, I would have.
You're a very adventurous man.
Yeah, well, sometimes.
Especially when we come to you in London.
That's very adventurous, yeah. That was... Chicago was good, though.
Yeah, it was a great time.
Met quite a few people there as well. I think I met Linz there as well.
You met Linz, Roland.
Roland, yeah, I met Roland as well, yeah.
Josh and Big Al were there. I'm trying to think who else.
Oh, yeah.
Murr and myself, clearly, and Jay.
Jay was there, yeah.
Obviously, you met Mr. Perfection himself.
What honor that was.
He's a 24K member. That's what matters. That was a 24K meetup.
He's a manly man.
He is a manly man. Third question from Stevens, even though he said he only had 2. What's it like? What's it like to be in high octane wrestling after hearing its reputation for years?
Yeah, I mentioned it earlier. It's great. It's the amount of talent in high octane is insane. Like,
we were even a little hesitant at first because of the reputation.
Exactly. Yeah. I mean, especially with the characters we play as well. And obviously because we've been away for a while, because we're so rusty, it was going to be. We know going in it's going to be tough.
But we ended up there and it's been great.
But yeah, it's been awesome. These guys are just insanely good writers. Like, it's the champ Farmington is just the funniest guy to read. I love that character so much. Colin, if you're listening to this, never stop writing this guy. He's brilliant.
Cecilworth is so much fun.
Yeah.
All right. Up next is at D Brunk. Hey, Stevie, are you upset that Stevens just revealed that he used to be your tag team partner? Tell us why.
No, Stevens is a dream. He's a dream to work with.
Oh, that's sweet.
Lovely, lovely man.
You shouldn't lie for the show, but we appreciate that you are.
I've got to put the guy over, come on.
He did ask questions, so that's nice of him.
He asked 3 questions. Yeah, that's he's a good man.
Up next, your old friend from UTA as well, and now in High Octane, Pete at Pete for America.
Did Pete write a book?
Yeah, I heard he wrote a book.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, buy Pete's book. It's The Legend of Valerian's Garden. You can find it on Amazon.
He never mentioned it before.
I know. It's almost like he never puts himself over.
Yeah, right.
At Pete for America asks, hey, Steve, please describe all the ways that Mikey is a superior tag team partner to Scott Stevens.
All of the ways. I don't think we have time. We don't have time on this.
We don't have time to count
all
those.
Ways,
that many ways. They really get on Stevens in the Discord. It's great.
I've seen. It's kind of like borderline bullying.
It is. It's great. Up next is at Queen Linda's OG. That's our friend Lynn's. What's one character trait of Kendricks's that people may not know, but you're excited to explore while writing in High Octane?
Oh, that's a good one. So if you've never heard of Kendricks and you just saw him in High Octane for the first time, like him and Mikey come off as goofballs, like just idiots.
100%.
Like they're stupid. Like I always kind of worry that they come across as like they're just stupid, but they're not stupid. They're just, I think we mentioned earlier, they're just ignorant. Super large egos. Obviously, Mikey's like a Hollywood superstar, C-lister.
So yeah, they're just oblivious to the world around them.
Yeah, they just think the world centers around themselves, and there's just no filter. There's no filter between their brain and their mouth.
It's immediate. Whatever they think comes out.
Yeah, they just say stuff without thinking, but they are actually quite smart, and they're the types that will do whatever it takes to win, like opportunists type things. So they're not wrestlers. Well, Mikey's not a wrestler. Kendricks is a wrestler, but
I fucking hate wrestling, bro.
You hate wrestling. You've always said that.
Yeah, but I said it first. So we're excited to explore that the Bros, I think we're excited to explore as a tag team that the Bros can be both fun and more serious.
Yeah, and I think, honestly, we're going to have to put that seriousness
we'll dial it in a little
more,
bit.
I think in how, because as only so far the jokey side will get you.
Very good. Up next is at Warren Fitz 45. What's the one or a few characters that you wanted to work with but never got a chance to?
I really wanted to go up against Jono. Just because
that makes sense. Yeah,
and he's been in the game for years, and we were going to do that in UTA before he left. We had a fuse that was coming up, and then something came up. I can't remember what it was, but Johnny had to leave. So I would really just like to see who would have won that battle between me and him, just because we've been friends for so long, and whoever
he got you into it. Yeah,
take the nick out of each other for quite some time. I think Johnny would have won though. He's had like 20 years in the game. And at the time, I think I only had about one.
What about now? Who would win today?
Oh, me, definitely.
I think one thing you've learned is how to be humble over the years.
Yes. That comes across well, doesn't it?
It does.
No, I'm joking. I think Johnny will still beat me now.
I don't know. He's been out for a long time.
He's been out for a while, but yeah. But I think over the years, he's had a lot of game time.
There'd probably be a lot of fourth wall breaking in that one.
Yeah.
I knew you in grade school.
It'll be close.
Yeah. All right. At Johnny Rivs, this is your good friend Jay, Mr. Perfection. Favorite place to eat in Chicago?
That chip shop he took us to.
The which one?
Okay, so I remember. But there was that. It was like in the middle of nowhere. He drove us to this place after we went to see some wrestling show in Chicago.
And what did we eat?
They were like chips. There's like was it a fish and chip bar?
I don't remember. But that's the place.
That's the place, Jay. You know what I'm talking about.
He knows. And his next question is, describe the taste of Malort.
I don't remember having it, so I can't.
That was that terrible drink he kept making us drink at every bar. Shots.
Oh, right. Oh, that. Yeah, no, that's not good.
It was gross. It's gross, Jay. Get the fuck out.
Stop recommending it to people.
Yeah, stop forcing people to drink your nasty Chicago drinks. At Everybody Loves Will. Love you, Will. He's going to hit you with a couple questions rapid fire. So he wants to know your best feud partner.
Mikey.
Aw.
But
I think our feud could have been better.
it could have been, but it was emotional. You know,
It was emotional. It was the end of the Bruvs.
We never had a match against each other. I mean, the Bruvs. It felt kind of dirty as well.
It was. It was real down and dirty.
Yeah.
What about the best storyline you've ever had?
I can't remember. That's a good one. Mikey.
Mikey, yes. I love how many of these I'm making. It's great. Best time in the hobby, writing with Mikey. Duh.
Yeah. All these answers are going to be, I'm just going to say Mikey all the time.
I'm just going to bring you back for every show. You're just going to put me over.
Yeah.
Why are you still friends with Jono?
Good question. I don't know how we've lasted this long.
And then he asked, in it.
In it, bro. You're mate.
Love you, Will.
Jono's the best, man. Johnny's just, he's always been there. Can't get rid of him.
You guys still keep up?
Not as often, because he's in Australia now. So,
oh, that's right.
Obviously, I mean, you guys are in America.
Well, shit, between me and you and him, you got people all over.
Yeah, but I don't know. Yeah, we spoke recently. I tried to see if he was doing EFed out there, but he's totally not doing it at all. He's been out for years.
Just way off of his plate.
Yeah,
he's not even thinking about it.
Thing. Yeah, but no, we haven't been in touch for that much, unfortunately. But I'm sure that will change now that we're all house fans.
At Billy in the field, Stevie, who has the best frappe? In
real life, or
I don't know. I'm guessing it's real life.
Starbucks, I guess.
Starbucks. And who has the worst?
Starbucks.
Why is Elise Aries your favorite member of SEG?
How did you find this information out? Because in my head, I imagine that she's quite hot.
There you go. That's why Kendricks would go for her.
Yeah.
Speaking of hot, we're moving over to the Twitter questions. At Dick Tweedless is up first with the Batista's Dick question of the EFed podcast. Is your mom hot?
I think she's all right for her age, yeah.
Yeah. Someone asked me that question the other day trying to make a joke, and I said, yeah, she's all right, and they got offended. Like, why would you say that?
Doesn't mean
His second...
do anything to her, you know.
Right, yeah. His second question, is she single?
Is she single? No, she's married to my father.
Sorry, bro.
He is.
He's got 5. His third question, why is Dwayne Gill the greatest of all time cruiserweight?
Because there's not a big cruiserweight division. I don't know.
All right. Question 4. What's with the frap, bud? Drink a beer.
Oh, Kendricks loves a beer. Don't get me wrong. That's like his Achilles heel. Yeah, strippies and beers are his, the whole...
From 8 a.m. to like 1 p.m. it's fraps, and then from like 1 p.m. to 8 a.m. it's all beer.
Yeah, he has a addictive personality.
Question 5. Have you ever heard about the Atomic Dropcast?
Of course.
AtomicDropcast.com. Right. Check it out.
You want to promote it or?
Yeah, this guy's one of my show guys. He always puts me over.
Yeah, it sells itself.
It does.
Yeah.
All right, up next is at Fuck Off Murray. Question 1, why are we so manly?
It just I think it's one of these natural things. It's not something you can really teach. It just happens.
It just happens. Just the manliest men of all manliness.
Yeah. Manly man.
We are the manliest. I think it needs to be said that we are men.
Obs.
Oh, it's totally obs.
I've been for so long about actually dropping an obs and totally obs.
There's going to be a count after the show. His second question is, who said it first?
I definitely said it first.
I said it first.
No way. If you have to go look through our Skype chats, you will see that I said it first.
All right. But I always said that.
Okay.
Question 3. Cool, man. Who's going over?
Barney Dog.
Barney Dog's always going over.
Yeah.
Question 4. Who is your all-time favorite Wrestle UTA weirdo?
Oh, so many.
Mikey.
No. You're not winning this one. Chris Ross.
Chris Ross, the boss.
In a lovable way.
He is lovable.
He is.
At Booby Dean. Who comes up with the better ideas of the bruvs, Mikey or Kendricks?
It's 50-50, isn't it?
I think so.
Yeah.
His next question is, who writes more?
I don't. I think it's 50-50. Still.
we're pretty good about just rolling off each other. Hold on, stop. Let me write this part.
Yeah. I need to go whiz. Maybe the last week you've done a bit more. I don't know. We're doing it in phases, I think. I think it's definitely 50-50. But just the way we write, isn't it? It's because we work off each other.
We have to. Yeah, I couldn't write a Brubs promo by myself.
No.
It wouldn't. I could. It just wouldn't sound right.
No, it's impossible.
So, his next question is, can I steal Mikey back for some WTFC stuff?
No, not at all. Make his mind.
Not until you're ready for another break.
Exactly.
He says, how did the Brubs come about? We kind of announced that we both joined Dynasty and kind of went from there. As the newbies of Dynasty, we just started teaming up.
Yeah, we had no choice, really. It
Yep.
kind of just happened.
And then we wanted to get over on Will, so we definitely wanted to beat him up.
Yeah.
Love you, Will.
Love you, Will.
What feds have you enjoyed the most? Obviously, you've been in 3.
So it's 3, not a lot.
No. No.
Okay.
I was in 3 at the same time 2 weeks ago.
Really? How much time to write? It's hard for me to say because I've only been in 3, but I've enjoyed all 3 of them.
Which one did you enjoy the least? Just say Boardwalk.
Oh yeah, I was in Boardwalk, wasn't I? Of course I was.
Yeah.
Yeah, Boardwalk was rubbish.
Boardwalk was rubbish. That's all from Bobby Dean. Thank you, Bobby, for the questions. Up next, we got at Mikey Unlikely. Favorite frap flavor?
In real life, or
Answer however you want to answer.
Oreo crackers, of course.
Oreo.
Yeah,
It's got to be Oreo.
Of course.
Obviously. Any variation of Oreo frap is the frap for me.
I don't go anywhere
without a sleeve of Oreos in your pocket.
just in case I don't have Oreo fraps in the coffee shop.
Is that a sleeve of Oreos in your pocket? Are you happy to see me? That's going on the next role play.
Absolutely.
What's your favorite American food?
Oh, what are they called? The what's that thing you have over there with the cheese and the beef? That baguette?
Philly cheesesteak?
Yeah, that's the one. Yeah.
The cheesesteak, yeah. Good stuff.
Definitely. They had like a market in a place in London I used to live in, and these American guys set up a store there, and I went there every week.
It's awesome.
Yeah. So
I love a cheesesteak. I go to cheesesteak places almost once a week. Until this whole shutdown happened anyway. Up next.
yeah, not anymore, you ain't.
Up next from Mikey Unlikely, what's your favorite Hollywood Bruv moment?
I've got really bad memory.
Same.
Yeah. Oh, for me, what was it? We weren't the Brubs. Were we the Brubs? Maybe we were. But when I did the whole Free Mikey Unlikely petition.
Yeah, when we were in Dynasty and you guys were all in Wrestle Show and I was the only Dynasty member on Victory.
Brubs then. They were just in Dynasty.
And you guys, but you were holding the petition and carrying it to the ring and trying to ask people to sign.
Yeah, because Kendricks obviously loved Mikey at that point before they became the Brubs. And UTA did 2 different shows. And for some
they had a brand split and they split us up.
That's right. For some reason, Mikey was the only member of Dynasty on another show.
It was a draft, and I'm the only one that got drafted to the other show.
That's right, yeah. So then the other 3 of us were on the other show. So I decided to write a Free Mikey Unlikely petition. And I think I actually put the petition on Twitter for people to...
We did. We collected like 200 signatures, and half of them...
I think we maybe had 20 real signatures.
Yeah, and then there was like Barack Obama's gardener, and
yeah, right, ridiculous. And then maybe like 5 or 6 Kendricks in there or something like that.
Yeah, ridiculous. Krang was in there. Yeah, all the good ones.
I enjoyed that. Yeah, that was a good moment because I think that's the beginning of when the Brubs had their chemistry. You know.
What's your favorite Big Breakfast moment?
I don't know how to answer this question. Are you referring to your friend, the Big Breakfast, or my Big Breakfast?
Our friend, the Big Breakfast. Our friend, the Big Breakfast.
Just, I think it was the beginning, wasn't it, when he arrived from Chicago?
And he slept for 42 straight hours.
Yeah. So when you do the whole long haul flight, you get the whole, what's that? Hangover. What's it called?
Jet lag.
Lag. So you're supposed to stay awake for as long as possible when you arrive, but he went straight to bed.
He went straight to bed. We went out to eat and we had dinner, and then he crashed for like a day and a half.
Yeah. And you were only there for the weekend.
It was amazing.
Brilliant.
So definitely your favorite big breakfast moment. Let me just tell you, my favorite Hollywood Bros moment is when the Hollywood Bros built a wall and kept Klein and Seg out of their locker room. By far my favorite Hollywood Bros moment.
That was good. Oh, I also remember Mikey's birthday. That was good.
Oh, that was good. The party. Yeah.
Yeah.
And we stopped the party to find your glasses, and they were on your head.
That's right, yeah.
Such good times. We're such good writers.
We are. Very deep writing.
All right. Last question from Mikey Unlikely. Shag, marry, kill. Andy Murray, Mikey Unlikely, perfection.
Kill Jay. Just because he just comes up with a weird shit.
Yeah, he is a little shit.
Yeah. Shagma, marry Mikey.
Oh, I love it. I knew you had to marry me.
Did you have that free in that order?
I did. Yeah. Same order for me. At Roland, up next in the Defiance chat. What did you like best about your visit to Chicago, and are you a Bulls fan now?
Am I a Bulls fan? I actually was, like, when I was growing up, because obviously
Michael Jordan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I didn't know anything about basketball, and obviously Michael Jordan was everywhere. So if I had to pick one basketball team, I would pick the Bulls. But when we went to see them, I found out that they're not very good.
Yeah, they got torched by like 20 points or something.
Yeah.
So your favorite place to visit in Chicago, your favorite part of Chicago?
Touristy stuff. I would say that tower they've got. I can't remember what it's called.
The Willis Tower.
That's the one.
Yep.
That was
that was scary stuff.
Yeah, I remember you were very scared.
I got very, very scared. Yeah, I had a hard time walking on that glass.
Did we hold your hand?
You did. You guys carried me on like real manly men.
Yeah. But it's okay to hold hands when you're a manly man.
Yeah, when manly men are scared, you hold hands. That's what you do.
That's what you do.
So Roland's second question is, what part of yourself do you channel for the Kendricks character? The dickhead part.
Yeah, so the dickhead part is the part that, like, so if people know me, they generally say I'm a nice guy. But
you are a nice guy.
In my head, the stuff I say, but so I have unlike Kendricks, I have a filter. So yeah, that's the part. It's the filtered part that goes into Kendricks.
That's awesome.
I'm a bit older now. I'm 36, so I just don't have that much patience with people anymore. So
I get it.
What pisses me off in my head, I say awful things.
You say it in your head, and now as Kendricks, you can just put it all out on paper.
Yeah, as part of my job, I work in HR, so I have to kind of manage people and negotiate. So I have to have that kind of filter.
God bless you. Last question is from Seth in Defiance. Thanks for being a really fun feud partner, Stevie. What is the inspiration behind Kendricks?
Maybe I think it was initially just to get my filtered stuff out and express it in such a horrible character. I've always liked the Hills. I've always loved the Hills, I think I preferred Hill DX to Face DX. So like Kendricks, the X in Kendricks' name is like homage to DX. He says, listen, yeah.
Yeah.
At the start of every segment, that's basically Hey Yo from Scott Hall. His moveset's Jericho, like Hill Jericho, Punk. That's his moveset. That's the influence behind him, I would say. Plus my need to get my filtered
thoughts out. It's a great stress relief.
Yeah, it is. It really is. It's great.
All right, man. So before we go, that's all the questions. Thank you to everyone who sent those in. Let's do a little word association. I'm going to give you much of the same list I gave Murr last week, and I want you to give me the first thought that hits your head when I say the word.
See, this is what work with me because I filter it.
Don't filter it. This is Kendricks. Give me Kendricks. Put Stevie away.
Okay.
All right. Wrestle UTA.
Beginning.
Andy Murray.
Manly.
Pick base.
Nah.
Micro.
Acceptable.
Acceptable. And poser.
Fucking awesome. Well, that's 2 words, but awesome.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Okay. What about the big breakfast?
Sleepy.
Wrestle show.
I can't remember which show I was on.
You were on Wrestle show.
The A show. A.
The A show. Chris Hopper.
Wasn't he a priest or something?
He was.
Yeah.
Good memory. There you go.
Yeah.
How about Barney Dog?
Ooh.
What about Victory?
Nah.
I don't need one word. I need that one thought.
Oh, 1-4.
You can. Yeah. Feel free to expand on.
Okay. UTA.
E-wrestling Twitter.
Oh, used to be. I used to like it. I don't have time for
Okay. Bobby Dean.
that. So much fun. Love that character.
New Japan Pro Wrestling.
Never really watched that much of it, but from what I've seen, whenever I do watch it, it's fantastic.
Cecil Worth Farthington.
Oh, just incredible. Just love that character so much. Always makes me laugh.
Eric Dane.
Oh, he's a badass. The guy, Justin's brilliant. I love how he gets angry. Out of character. And his character is just awesome. And actually, really like that he pushed Kendricks in an angle fed. But I think he would only do that if I deserved it. So I really appreciate it.
Chicago's Green River.
It was pretty cool when I saw it. We saw it on St. Patrick's Day. That was really special. Yeah, that was great day.
They canceled that this year.
Yeah, I heard. Yeah, that's a shame.
Pete's book.
Did Pete write a book?
That's what I heard.
Really?
Krang.
Honestly, I don't actually get the Krang reference because I don't think I was around when that shit was going on.
Oh, there you go. Okay. How about watch out for that choke slam?
Again, I don't get that either. I know, yeah. But we said it all the time in Chicago.
In London, yeah.
Was it London? Yeah. So I just went along with it. Was that Paul Bearer or something?
It was Howard Finkel. Howard Finkel.
Right,
yeah. Okay, what about Dan Ryan?
Dan Ryan. Bloody tough. Tough to write against, that's for sure.
Little bitch boy.
Yeah.
Love you, Brunk. How about the Hollywood Bruvs? What comes to mind?
Happiness. Just tears of happiness. I laugh so much when we write these guys. Actually cry while I'm writing. In a good way. People cry when they read, but when we write them, it's just fun. We have a good time.
It's more important that we have fun than people who read them enjoy it. Yeah.
Fuck the readers.
DOC.
Dead in the garbage can because of me.
Jack Hunter.
I forgot about Jack Hunter. What a legend.
What a legend. The super best.
He's the super best. Is he still undefeated?
No, he's long gone. At least Murr's version is long gone.
Lost, right?
I'm sure he didn't.
Yeah.
He would tell you that. Lindsay Troy.
Absolute delight. Absolute pleasure to meet in Chicago.
There you go. That was very political and nice.
I am nice.
You are nice. Prodigy.
A fantastic band. But in terms of the project title, my first ever title that I won.
The Fist.
First ever championship I won, I think. I think I won that before the UTA one. Or was it vice versa? I can't remember.
No, yeah, you won UTA way before that.
Right, okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was a great moment to win in that Fed because it's such a good Fed with so many good. So yeah, that was
E-wrestling.
E-wrestling. I don't know how I got into this at such a late time in life, but I'm glad I did it. It's been super fun.
Okay, I got 3 more for you. How about the Sports Entertainment Guild?
Oh, just ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. But again, so much fun.
Fraps?
Fraps? Delicious.
And Strippies.
So I don't actually go to strippies that much. I have been to them, but Kendrick seems to like them.
Before the Hollywood Bruvs were a tag team, I had never heard the term strippies before.
Yeah, so I think people in Scotland use it, or one of my friends in Scotland, because I went to university in Scotland, and I remember he used it once. Well, he referred to them as strippies, strippers or stripping, and I was like, that's fucking hilarious. It always bothered me. So yeah.
And so Kendricks refers to them as strippies.
Yeah, I can't say strippers anymore. I have to say strippies.
And of course, Mikey and Kendricks know them all by first name basis.
Of course, yeah, because they tend to go quite a lot. They're regulars.
They are regulars.
Strippy industry.
We ride our segways with our fraps into the strippies.
Into the sunset, into the stripping.
Into the sunset.
Yeah.
All right, Stevie, that's all I got for you today on the EFed podcast. I really appreciate you coming on for the Hollywood Bruv special. It's been a lot of fun. It's
been awesome. Thank you, sir. Thank you for so many questions.
Absolutely. Thanks, everybody, for the questions. And I look forward to writing with you for many more years and telling many more stupid stories with the Bruvs.
Absolutely. Looking forward.
All right, everybody. For Stevie, I'm Mikey. Thanks for joining us for the interview.
Cheers, guys.
All right, that's going to wrap us up for another edition of the EFed podcast here on the Atomic Dropcast Network. I want to thank our sponsors, the Atomic Dropcast, atomicdropcast.com, anywhere you find your podcasts. Mikey and Brian taking a look at 1997 WWF through adult eyes. Make sure you check out EFedPodcast.com. Make sure you check out the Patreon.com/EFedPodcast. That's where you can help support the show. And you can, for a monthly fee, get the show a couple days early. You can get cool perks like the Discord legend levels. You can get the access to the special chats. You get the monthly bonus content and much, much more. Check it out over at patreon.com/EFedPodcast. Want to thank the EWC, the Extreme Wrestling Corporation, for their sponsorship as always. They've been with us since the very beginning. Want to thank wearesplat.com and at wearesplat on Twitter for constantly putting their stuff on our show. Great, unique projects over there at We Are Splat. I want to thank everybody for listening. Thank you for your time. Check out DefianceWrestling.com, a great angle fed and one of my home feds. And as for everything else, guys, you know the deal. This is the Atomic Dropcast Network. You're listening to the EFed podcast, where the wrestling is written, but the characters are real.
Free on Patreon.